this meeting to order. Roll call.
Got it?
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes? Or
So
the
moved.
agenda, sorry.
So moved.
Okay. Second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor of approving the agenda for today? All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, passes. Executive Committee. We're gonna discuss the budget today. Part of that is going to discuss some changes, in Jim's salary. You have that handy. I'm gonna start with the question. Okay.
I do have the budget handy, but would it be beneficial for you guys to go through my salary and compensation first? And then I can go through the budget?
We could do that. Okay, do you want to leave?
Yeah, so you guys can talk freely about me.
Yeah. Okay. So the executive committee has been discussing ways to keep Jim here and make sure he stays happy, basically. We have proposed in the budget, the line item about labor, a salary of $61,588.80. That's an increase of 5%. We are going to continue paying for his insurance. He gets 3 weeks paid time off, and we are proposing that we open an IRA for him. So as we discussed various things, these were the things that he was interested in a compensation package and things we feel like would be fair. I've given each of you some information about how we came up to this, how we came to this conclusion. He did not receive a pay increase in 2025, which accounts for the 5%, but he did not get that because we made an adjustment at the end of 2024. So that's why the 5%. We felt like it was fair. After a review of DDA directors around the state of Michigan, his salary is below what his peers receive. There's a,
If we just cut to the chase, can we afford it?
yes, we can afford it.
Then let's just do it. If we lose Jim, we're in big trouble.
And he's in demand.
He is, actually.
He's already turned down a couple other
Yeah,
jobs.
so-
Correct.
I make a motion, we do this and be done with it.
Are you okay with it as
I am.
is? Okay,
100%.
okay. So did you have a question, Kim?
So did you make a motion to
I don't know
approve all
if
those
I don't know if
things?
I'm out of line or not.
Does
but I'm
anyone else
100%
want any
support.
discussion on this?
Support.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions or concerns that they would like to bring up? No.
I just have a quick
Okay,
question.
go
In
right
regards to this list of justifications, since we're not going to discuss it publicly, will it be made available to the public?
It could be.
I'd appreciate that just for transparency. I'm all in favor for streamlining deliberation, but at the same time, you know, this is pertinent information to justify the motion and the vote. And I think the public has a right to understand that.
Okay,
It's on there?
Yeah, the
Okay.
cameras are rolling.
All right. Well, no, we're not discussing it, though. We're cutting the discussion out in order to move straight to the vote. And there's some good information here that I think is, you know, it justifies the expense that we're making, regardless of whether we can afford it or not. That, you know, that's not sufficient for some members of the public. They want to know that we're doing our due diligence, not just, oh, we can afford it, so let's just go ahead and vote yes.
okay. I'd be happy to discuss further.
Continue.
Okay, I will. Okay, so we considered the salaries across the state. He is underpaid according to that. We have an Excel spreadsheet that I would be happy to email you at a later date or later today. We compared salaries based on population, years of service, the region of the state, and the budget. His salary is below the average now. Even with the increase in pay, he will still be below average. With adding an IRA, it will get him to a more comparable level. And we came up with the suggestion of the amount. I suggested 5,200. That is $100 a week. Obviously, if we can give him the one investment up front, interest will accrue faster, and that would be better for him. Even if he matches that exactly, he will still be under what is allowed for a simple IRA over the course of a year. So, does anyone have any questions about that? I want to also highlight that his paid time off has always been a period of 3 weeks. Historically, he's only used about half that time, and it is our expectation that this year he will use the full amount, because I truly believe, and the board does as well, the executive committee, that a rested and refreshed employee is vital for good vision, good creativity, good leadership of the board. I'm just kind of highlighting these things. Okay, so additional information at the bottom. Region 6 of the Michigan Main Street includes the entire Thumb, Genesee County, and Shiawassee County. In Region 6, the average salary is $59,808. Of those who completed the survey, Mr. Alt is the second longest serving director in Region 6. So and I believe he told me he's been here 10 years. If we make the comparisons based on salary, the average salary is $62,494. Comparatively by population, $62,795. So he is definitely undercompensated, and we need to do better. So, is there any additional discussion?
I missed the first part about,
Okay.
so did you discuss the IRA part yet?
We did, yeah.
Okay, so I just had a question, so obviously with this initial investment of 5,200, what is there a plan going forward regarding like it being like the same every year? I mean, I guess I didn't hear that part.
We didn't discuss that, and that is a
Oh.
great question. So I am in favor of doing that every year, but obviously that will somewhat be dependent year by year on the budget, maybe.
Well, is the IRA supposed to be totally voluntary in this sense? You can set up those kind of things where it's just the employee that's contributing. So I wasn't sure if this was gonna be something that we contribute to every year.
Mhm. I'm not sure that we had worked that detail out yet, but that is a great question, and I will make a note of that.
The way this is worded, I read it as a one-time, we're gonna put in
Right.
5,200 and that's it.
Okay.
I mean, that's the way I
Right.
read it, so.
Okay,
So that would mean that it would be solely just up to Jim if he wants to contribute to this account? Other than the initial investment?
my thought is it might be worthwhile to research. I think he'd have to get a simple IRA just because of the size of the organization. I don't know what the rules are about that. I would be in favor of giving him continued annual investments. It might not be this amount, might have to be dependent on the budget for the year. But does anyone have any thoughts about this?
Is it a 2-year contract? Or 1 year?
I
Like, are we gonna, cause I feel like we revisit it every year, maybe it's been 2 years.
Mhm.
I thought it was didn't we do a 2-year contract last time, or was it
Thought so.
longer?
I think so. I
Yeah.
think it is too.
What was the effective date, I don't recall, what was the effective date of the contract?
Is it July to go with our fiscal?
I think so.
Okay.
You know what, when we bring him back in, we can clarify those things, what the contract date, because I'm sure he knows. Does anyone have any other thoughts on this?
You know, this is still kind of an open-ended discussion we're having on this
Mhm.
IRA. I would be more comfortable if, with a motion to approve this, or somewhere in here where we say additional investments will be determined at a later time or something like that.
Okay.
This is way open to interpretation.
Well, but I think, you know, just because we're seeing it, I think we should have, like, there should be a little more discussion about what we do with the IRA. I don't think we should make a decision necessarily today.
Right now, we're just wanting to explain why we had the increase in the budget for his compensation, basically.
Oh, because the budget's coming out.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the budget workshops and everything. So a lot of this is just to prepare for questions that will invariably come at city commission level when everybody is discussing the DDA's budget. So, yes.
Thank you. I think the question here, the bullet point I see, if I understand it correctly, in terms of a motion, is to do a one-time investment for the start of the fiscal year. Just as it's already been acknowledged that this is a one-time thing at the moment, and I don't see a reason why we have to leave it off necessarily. If we want to include it right now, if you've already done the due diligence, it fits in the budget, we can do it this one fiscal year, and this increase of salary, and get that done, and then revisit additional later on. I'm also fine with separating the IRA from the pay increase and addressing that at a separate meeting after we've done more due diligence, and then maybe we can make a motion and do something more permanent rather than a one-time get it open. Maybe we can do some research as to what it looks like in smaller corporations to have a retirement fund for an individual, an IRA style, and how the employer matches that. Is it just a set amount? We have here, we're estimating $100 a week, and that's where we come up with 5,200. Do we go forward permanently and say, okay, we'll do this as a one-time once we get you set up as an employee, but then from that point forward, your contributions will be matched at this percent or at this dollar value, whatever that might be, with a max of this much per year. And, but we need to do some research and see what other organizations do in order to kind of, I think, maybe follow that pattern. And I'm sure there's a good reason why, those patterns might be out there, or those processes, and we should look into that. And if there isn't one that suits our needs, then we develop one that suits our needs and then bring it all together at once. I'm fine with either way, including the one-time in today's motion or separating salary increase and the IRA.
My biggest concern is just the city commission's approval. So,
In terms of being separated or together?
just including it in the budget and
Okay.
as part of the compensation package.
Yeah,
So
if
that is
that's the
my-
case, if you wanted to get it at city level together, then let's do that. And I think the verbiage is perfect right here. It already says one time. As long as that's included in the motion, then I think there would be no trouble going forward with the combination today, with a future consideration for ongoing matching or something once we've done some due diligence.
Okay. That was my big concern, is I just want it to not be cut from the budget. So, okay.
So in that situation, I think, IRA is kind of like a payroll function. How does it mechanically work with him, the way he's paid? I mean, how will that be set up? His contributions, where will that IRA be set up, and how does he?
He hasn't determined yet what company he was going to work with to
So
do that.
As an independent, that would be
Yeah.
up to him to do?
Right.
Right.
I believe that would be Mrs. Hodge, Ms. Hodge.
That'd
do you
be
have
a question for the payroll accountant, if it's something they could handle, or if he would have to do it. So we'd have to get that answer and get back with you.
Okay.
Once he can call the payroll accountant maybe and get some advice on that.
Well, and I think if it's a one-time, investment and that's all we ever do, I think that's probably fine. But if we end up doing something different, that's not gonna work. It's gonna have to be through the employer, which, because we're his employee, it would have to be through the DDA.
Right. that's
So, yeah, so I think that's why, while I wanna make sure it's in our budget,
Mhm.
I think that it may not be such a good idea to piecemeal this if we have to do it over again and do a different type of IRA if we decide down the road that we're gonna do some type of annual contribution. So that's all I'm saying.
Okay. So everyone is in favor of the notion, we just maybe need to work out the details.
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
To also, I agree with that as well, and maybe to also address the concern of getting it into the budget at the city level during this fiscal year, while the rest of those details can be worked out, instead of setting up a one-time IRA, I wonder if it would make sense during this renewal and pay increase that we give a bonus, and that bonus is intended
That
for
would be
his,
something.
for his one-time setup personally for a personal IRA, while we work out what it looks like as an
That makes-
employer to
makes
do a
more
retirement
sense.
package
Yes.
going forward.
That makes
Okay.
more sense.
I agree.
Okay, so do we have a motion?
Well, we have the motion, so it's worded as on this sheet as far as I understood, Buddy, so if you want to amend it
We can amend it, absolutely.
to say,
Say whatever it's supposed to say.
Bonus.
Bonus! Say bonus.
So,
so to change the wording to, provide a one-time 5,200 bonus?
$5,200 bonus to be used to start a retirement account.
I don't think you necessarily control.
We don't even
it
need
does with the
to,
money.
okay,
Okay.
a $5,200
He does
bonus.
that.
So you're changing it to say everything on the 3 bullet points and then a one-time $5,200 bonus.
Yes.
Okay,
And you support that change, Megan?
Yeah.
okay, so it's moved by Mr. Byers, supported by Ms. Gillingham. Do we have a motion to approve? Everyone in favor say aye, or I'm sorry, yeah, I'm still saying things wrong, I'm sorry.
Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed? Okay. Carlos, would you mind stepping out and getting Jim?
Yes.
Thanks. Okay,
You guys get your check?
I did not, Jim
My
punches
mail's been
one.
so weird.
Yeah.
Nobody did.
Okay, just checking.
No, they'll all be there today.
Yeah,
Do you need an agenda?
I have it on my phone, that's what I've been referencing, but
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, so there was a question about how long your contract is. Is it a 2-year contract?
Currently it's 2 years,
Okay.
Do you know when it started?
2 years ago.
Like, oh, so we're at 2 years now.
July.
It's
It
gonna
would be
end.
July 1st.
It ends.
Yeah.
Okay, so this wasn't just increasing, we were actually approving a new contract.
Or
We,
just renewing the contract, I guess, for another 2 years, or?
we hadn't,
Oh,
actually.
Plus, I say you have to do something, if the contract's gonna end in
Okay.
June,
That has to be taken.
you have to do something with the contract, or he's gonna be operating without a contract.
Got it.
June or July?
June 30th, right?
Yes, it would
Okay.
have been at the end of June, probably. So part of the discussion would be how long the contract was gonna be, if we were gonna renew it for the same time frame.
So the contract being on the agenda, would that be something that would be for next month's agenda then? Do we need to put that
Whenever
on?
we work it out,
Okay.
and we've got to look at it.
Okay,
April or May.
okay. Is that typically when it happens? Okay. Yeah, next month is April. So there was discussion, everybody was in favor of what we have proposed with some slight modifications. To allow time to work out the details of the IRA. We're going to give you the bonus, the $5,200 bonus, and then figure out the details of the best retirement plan that protects the city, protects the DDA, protects you. So figure out,
I have one question. So
Okay.
are these changes effective July 1st?
yes, I
Payroll-wise?
think, yeah, because they still haven't been approved by the city commission for, so yeah, they would be for July 1st.
Okay, so I don't have to do anything, okay.
Okay,
All our discussions were related to the budget, so that we
Yes,
could present a
that's
budget.
correct. Okay, operating budget. I'll let you take the floor.
All right, I emailed the budget to everybody last night, and hoping to get it sooner, but we wanted to make sure we had correct numbers from the city, worked with Kelly on the budget. So I wanted to go through that with you today, so that we can make sure it is included in the city's budget conversations as well, which will be coming up in April. So what we've done in the past is we've just gone through it line by line. That's my plan for today, unless anybody has any questions or would prefer otherwise. So starting at the top, start with the estimated revenues. Interest on investments, just based off of trends, we're looking at $6,000 this year for that. And then downtown development authority estimated revenues. Our tax capture for this coming year, 2026-27 fiscal year, we are estimating at $224,000. That includes our DDA tax capture, including current and future county millages, based on the motion that we made back in 2020. Under grant income, we have that at $25,000. That is the match on Maine grant. There's no guarantee we'll get a grant this year, but we did include it in the budget as we've done in the past, just in case we do get one, we don't have to go back and do a budget adjustment after. Local Community Stabilization Fund, slight decrease this year at $6,000. Based last year, we had it at $8706.
What is that?
Community Stabilization Fund, it's a number that the city provides it, it's based
It's
off
a
of.
replacement of the loss of personal property tax income revenue.
There you go, that's, would replace her, spoken better than I did. Signed rental income, we're keeping that at $5,000. Donations, there's a couple donations on here. The first is our annual giving campaign that we are launching this year that will focus on planter updates, clock improvements, downtown improvements that we're working on with the Business Development and Outreach Committee. The one below that are donations for Main Street Inc., or for your Main Street. We put that there at $5,000. Talking with LDC, if we move forward with Placer AI, they can contribute $5,000 towards the program. That would be a donation from LDC, so we just put it under the Main Street line item. Special events promotions. You'll notice it's significantly higher than last year. Last year, we came in about $15,000, which is higher than the year before, $6,000. Our goal this year is $35,000 for special events, which means we really need to get out there, boots on the ground, and do that fund development sponsorship campaign. Right now, it looks like we should come close to that if we're proactive and start having that conversations based on past relationships. But obviously, people's incomes, people's budgets change on their own business. So, but that is the anticipation for this year is the $35,000. That's income wise. Any questions on?
Can you remind me, under grant income, why is it was 44,300, or 46,000 originally? What was the additional amount that we had?
Last year included the vibrancy grant
right,
from
right.
Michigan Main Street.
And the Pigs mural.
And the Pix Theater mural. Because of budget cuts at the MEDC, they're not doing the vibrancy grant this
Okay.
year, or at least they're not anticipating one, so we didn't bother doing that.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions on income? On the expense side, salary and wages, that $81,552 reflects my wage and benefits based off of what was proposed earlier today. It does not include the assistant director's salary because that is a partnership with the LDC. So we actually moved that down to contractual services further down on expenses. Office supplies, we kept at $2,000. Auditing, we do that with the city every year, a slight increase there to the $19.25. The other contractual services, so that's at $44,161. That includes the pay for the assistant director at $28,000 a year that we discussed and approved last month. It also includes renewing the contract with the See My Legacy software. It includes our new website contract, which is why you're seeing an increase significantly in that line item. Legal fees, $2,000 is what we're keeping that at. The CBB beautification, that goes from the 13,600 to the 1,500. The beautification is where we put the grant last year for the mural, one under the beautification. The design committee, that is the $2,500 for our sign assistant grant that we have. We've done 3 awards this year. One for the front of Burke's Flowers, one for the backs of Flower Basket, and then also the Lapeer Financial over on Clay Street. Downtown grants, that's again the match on Main. It just comes in through the DDA and it'll go out through us as well. Main Street program, we're keeping at the 16,000. Programming service agreement, that is the contributions to the Center for the Arts in partnership with the city. They do half, we do half for that program. Community promotion, keeping at 2,000 for the year. Special events and promotion, anticipated budget right now, it looks like we're gonna be spending about 40,000, but that could change based on duration of events, based on porta-john needs. I don't anticipate that being as high this year, so that likely could go down, but I think it'd be better to go on the possibility of what we did last year. Utilities, slight increase there. Utility rates are just going up, so we're at 6,000 for this year. Property maintenance, we're keeping at 5,000. Office rent stays consistent at 54. Other miscellaneous expenses, 1,500. Property insurance is at 7405. And then the CIP funded projects, that was a pass-through from the city for Center for the Arts repair. The city has not utilized it the last few years. Instead, they were just paying directly to do repairs, any repairs are needed to the CFA. So we just eliminated that line item for this year. That the city's request. Then we move, any questions on that first part? Jason?
Where's the assistant's salary before, on which line item?
It's under the other contractual services.
No, before, last year.
It's under
Oh, it
salary.
was under wages and payroll.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a question, so I know you're not completely done, but obviously we're over budget based upon what you just presented, right?
Yes.
So it's $25,000 that we're over budget, so is there something that you're gonna do to compensate for that? I guess, I noticed that, like, on the special events, we're spending $5,000 more than you expect hopefully to bring in. So is there, I guess,
Yes, I will explain that
Okay.
once we get through
All right.
the other contributions to the city. Yeah. So it's a good question, and I anticipate it, so yeah, I'll
Okay.
explain it as we get there. Any other questions? So, contributions, a couple more quick revenues from the city. Every year we get a contribution from the city that includes the payment to the Center for the Arts. It also includes the city contribution to the DDA of $50,000. That's the contributions from the city with the 96,000. On the contributions to the city, this is where we have some changes this year. Contribution to the general fund will be increased to 21,100. And then we have contributions to the Parks Fund. That is a item where we're gonna see a significant increase. Now, over the years, we've been steady at the 7,500. That has not changed for a long, long time. Meanwhile, the cost to maintain the parks, the cost to do work has gone up significantly. So we are doing a contribution back to the city for 20,000 for Parks Department. The contribution to the debt fund, 21,770. That is our payment back towards the bond that the city is doing for parking lot repairs and Park Street, Pine Street, includes the dumpster enclosures, street lights, things like that. So that would be the DDA's contribution to that project. The contribution to parking fund, Same thing, originally that fund was to offset revenue loss from parking meters, it goes back to maintaining the downtown, parking areas, maintenance, upkeeps, all things like that, all of which expenses have gone up significantly, without a change on, or much of a change on the contribution from the DDA. So we are contributing more on that, up to the $25,000. Basically what that does is it takes the 50,000 contribution to the DDA, we're just providing it back to the city and other areas so that it can go towards downtown improvements, specifically in the downtown area. So what we're looking at then is a budget loss for the year. So estimated revenues would be 407,000. Estimated expenses is 418,845. So we are spending more this year than we are taking in. In this case, that is a good thing. It is something that the state likes to see, especially through the Treasury Department. It's a good practice for DDAs. Our fund balance had grown to the point where it was equal to about 75% of our total budget, which is a really high fund balance. Recommended fund balance is more around the 15 to 20% for an organization like a DDA. Because you don't want to get in the habit of building a significant fund balance that's just sitting there. And in this case, that gives us the potential to contribute to the parking lot project. But there is potential that we might end up spending it down a little bit more, which we are looking at improvements, actually not improvements, repairs or replacement for the clock downtown as well. And we don't know what that cost is going to be yet. So that could impact our expenses also for the city. By having such a high fund balance, we do need to spend that down. The state requires that DDAs do not hang on to tax capture longer than 5 years. So we want to make sure that we're being good stewards of that, those tax revenues, so that we do need to spend that down. So this gives us a start, and that's why you're seeing the
Yeah,
difference.
and I didn't look at that bottom, but I didn't realize it actually had grown that much.
Yep.
I'm like, wow, that's different than a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like,
changed
oh,
significantly.
wow.
So is the $25,000 contribution to the parking fund, is that anticipated to be continual for some time?
Yes.
And for how long? I mean, is that kind of a
I
built
already
into?
set a time framing, and that's one of those numbers that I would anticipate we'll probably just revisit on a regular basis as we move forward each year.
Do we have a balance sheet with this or just an income statement?
The city logs it through their BS&A system, and then we just have our monthly reports that we,
Okay, so,
Send out.
but we don't actually have a balance sheet then, is that what I understand?
it's tracked through the city, yeah.
Another question, if the fundraising efforts don't go as well as planned, is that difference gonna be made up from this fund as well?
It could be, but I think the goal is we really try to push to get that, so that basically the events are paying for themselves, through sponsorships, through donations, through contributions. We really want to be mindful to try not to spend tax revenue on an event. So generally, if we don't get the sponsorships in place, then that's when we need to start looking at scaling back the events. If we're not seeing a benefit and people are seeing an opportunity to sponsor it, then I think that also reflects in maybe the event needs to be adjusted in connection.
Additional questions? Anybody?
I move we approve the budget as presented.
Support.
All in favor of approving the budget as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes. All right, committee reports. Outreach Committee. Catherine, Megan, Tammy, who wants to say?
I think we just worked really hard at our committee meeting with coming up with a name for our annual giving campaign. It was a very creative session, and you can see from the report that Jim provided that we came up with Lapeer Heritage, and I think like the tagline is basically, I've lost track of where it's at now, but,
Building tomorrow's
there it is,
downtown.
yeah, building today for tomorrow's downtown, so, that's really what we focused on. I mean, we've done a good job, we've got it, our task broke down, so now it's just a matter of coming up with those funding levels so that we can, get this thing off the ground by May. And hopefully we'll have those, planter boxes being worked on, so.
You will.
But anyway, so it was a good meeting.
Any additions to that?
Do you have anything else you?
Okay.
No, that pretty much covered it.
It really did,
It was an
yeah.
interesting meeting.
It was. Okay, Business Development Committee.
We met about a week ago, and in your packet, it's a pretty good explanation. Our main topic of discussion was the parking lot construction and what we can do to facilitate less angry people downtown over that. So we kind of settled on one thing, not one thing, but maybe the most important thing is communication, so many people as we can reach are aware of what's going on. And so we talked about different ways of doing that. So hopefully we can mitigate any confusion. But there's folks, we could tell them 10 times, they're still not communicating. And then we talked about the Match on Main program. We had nobody so far apply for that. Now, did we get a couple people in the
That
meantime?
is going to change.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm anticipating probably at least 3 applications.
Okay, good.
And those are due,
They are due to Lapeer Main Street by April 3rd. So
Okay.
just over about a week and a half.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we will have to score, using the MEDC's provided scoring matrix, we score the top 2 score-wise, then move to the state for consideration of funding. And those applications are due April 20th.
And I'd add that when we were talking about the parking lot, we didn't have all the firm numbers on dates and times and so on and so forth for start and completion. And if y'all got Jim's email late last week, Jim had a meeting that day and a lot of that stuff got ironed out. And I thought the most optimistic thing was that the contractor said they would cut the time of construction from 90 days to 50 days. So I'm not sure I'd hold my breath, but even if they knock it down 10 days, that's good, so.
as a Business Development Committee member, I would also say it's just vitally important as often as possible that we have a great attitude or the best attitude possible, because positivity does spread and negativity does as well. So the more, and I know it's gonna be hard, I mean, it's impacting my house, my business, everything, but being as positive as we can and just encouraging people, good is coming, that's vital. So, placemaking committee. We discussed ballot boxes and bike racks and moving forward on that.
Yeah, really just kind of wrapping up last year's vibrancy grant. The chair, Tom LeMagna, of the committee, he and myself are actually connecting with Rodney Church tomorrow afternoon to kind of walk through the downtown area, look at possible locations for bike racks, and also talk a little bit about the style of the bike racks as well, what the city would prefer for those. And then we indicated last month, and we did get a lot of feedback online from like the bike community as to what works well for them, what would actually get utilized versus just look nice.
Okay, events committee.
We basically discussed the events coming up. One of the events will be how to promote and tell people that it's still gonna be okay with the implementation of the parking and stuff. And, just getting them out there to still support the small businesses that are in downtown, because we're gonna be the ones that feel the most with those changes. And then also, we kind of talked to American 250 celebrations with combining some of their events with our events, kind of working together with it.
Okay. Subcommittee. Do we have any reports from subcommittees? Center for the Arts.
Jill couldn't make it today, so I'm gonna read her report and maybe ad-lib a little bit. The current gallery exhibition features Lapeer Photography Club from March 17th to April 25th. There's an opening reception scheduled for March 27th, this Friday, from 5 to 7. And it'd be nice if many people could attend if they would. Art classes are continuing to see strong participation. We've got 60 people attending during this period. Gallery gift shop has a variety of new items. The PIX has been very active, hosting 7 shows over the last 3 weeks, along with 1 rental event, the Rental a Community Debate Night. Had 29 paid attendees with approximately 10 additional attendees from the Young Republicans attending free of charge. Other attendees included candidates and spouses. This period also marked a couple of notable milestones. Our first ever Viewers' Choice Movie Night drew an audience of 160, making it one of the most successful movie events in recent years. And I was there. They showed The Princess Bride, and it says it was very well, not just well attended. It got a standing ovation at the end of the movie, which was, I thought, pretty crazy. So it was enthusiastically attended, I would say. Heaven Can Wait was the first adult play, and financially it was pretty successful. So my suggestion was, let's keep doing it. So we'll see what happens. Heaven Can Wait was the first adult play produced by the Center for the Arts. It was highly successful, and plans are already underway to produce a second play in the upcoming season. Pleased to report the new sound system has been completed. It's installed and up and running. Feedback's overwhelmingly positive. If you haven't heard it, it's a night and day difference from whatever system we had before that was 30, 40, whatever years old. Amanda has done a lot of training on the new equipment, so we're pretty up to speed on sound and projection down there. And I would add that just as a board member there that things have really turned positive down there in the last, let's say, 6 months. There's been quite a change, and you know, COVID was just awful for the Center for the Arts. It was just a disaster, and it's really been about this long to recover from that. Based on all my years of running Lapeer days, I reached out to some people I knew from there that had a national footprint as far as booking entertainment and so on and so forth, just to see, kind of get a flavor of what was going on nationally. And what we were experiencing was very typical across the country for small venues like the PIX is, that they're way down in attendance. Took years to kind of build it back. And I think overall my sense was that we had done better than a lot of places, but everybody seems to be improving as we are now. So that's really good news, because I will tell you, we had some pretty tenuous years down there. So it's a lot more enjoyable attending a board meeting than it used to be. And then Jill's doing, many of you probably know that Jill's doing an awful lot of work on this America's 250th. She's planning, including her plans, a flagpole dedication ceremony on the courthouse lawn led by Vietnam vets, details being finalized, date, etc. Guided tours of the historic courthouse throughout the day, as well as the historical museum, will be open for tours. She's trying to get participation from local school bands and choirs, as well as the, I don't know who these are, DAR and SAR. Sorry. Daughters of American Revolution, okay. Presentation by Generation Arts on the courthouse wars, based on the book by Russ Franzen. I assume everybody knows what the courthouse wars in Lapeer were. If you don't, then that'd be a good thing to attend. Planning a community picnic. We're gonna try to use the Optimist tent for shade and protection from rain. Highlighted the event as a patriotic concert by internationally renowned Rodney Marsalis and his 7-piece brass band on the courthouse porch, which would be really cool. The event is in partnership with Friends of the Courthouse and Lapeer County Historical Society. Jill's still looking for sponsors for the celebration, so anybody that's got any excess cash, she'll take your check. So, that's Jill's report.
Okay, thank you very much. Staff report.
So first and foremost, we're able to be joined today by our new assistant director, Carlos, over here kind of off to the side. I want to say Carlos he's been with us now for a week and a half, 2 weeks. It has already been a big help with his nonprofit background and work he's done in the past. Later in the agenda, we'll convene to Main Street Inc. and the renewal of that. But Carlos has been able to do a lot of the prep work for it, which is fantastic because that is not in my wheelhouse. So it's been good to have him on board. Also, just touching base a little bit, work for Park Street, Pine Street, and the parking lot has started. We've been sending out communications to the businesses downtown. We're going to continue with that. We'll be recording a video this afternoon. We have brought back the downtown newsletter. Carlos now has access to the MailChimp platform where that is stationed and is working on getting that ready to go. There'll be 2 variations of the electronic newsletter, one for business owners and then one just for the general public. Because they'll have similar information, but also different information at times where we can go into timelines, expectations, etc. The city allowed me to take part in the pre-construction meeting last week, which was very beneficial. And a big part of that was making sure the DDA had timelines so that we could get that word out there to everybody so they knew as soon as possible. We'll do our best. There's always going to be things that will fall through the cracks, but we're going to do our best to get the word out there so that we can accommodate. And when you look at, I know one of the big concerns is that parking lot. The work is anticipated to start in mid-May. When you look at the parking downtown, you realize, especially like an overhead view, there really is quite a bit of parking down there. So it'll be tight, but I think we can make it work, and I think we'll get through it. And I think the public will be pretty supportive. The main thing is just remember, let's keep Nepison Street for the public to use to access businesses and business owners park on the back side. So again, a little bit farther walk for us. But when it's done, it'll be a really nice improvement. Handicap accessibility, pedestrian friendly, green space, dumpster enclosures, better lighting. It'll be nice. It'll be really exciting to see that come to fruition.
So I have a question. At one point, I saw a map of the city, where people were supposed to park, like employees were encouraged to park. Is there any way we could get like copies of that?
Yes, yep, that is part of our communication plan. We're just finalizing the tiny little
Perfect.
details. I don't
Okay.
want to indicate or label.
Awesome, okay.
Yeah, my hope is to get that out like this week as part of the newsletter and information.
Okay.
Any other questions on the parking lot project?
I have one. I see you have here, like, you're gonna put up some temporary 15-minute parking.
Yes.
Is that gonna be all the way? Because
Yeah, so Mike and I walked the downtown area, and DPW has secured posts, and then I'm working with Village Printing to get temporary 15-minute parking signs.
Okay, awesome.
So we're able to do a couple in each block to kind of help flip traffic through a little bit more, especially in the areas where like somebody might be just doing like a quick pick up and go, like the coffee shop, or even just picking something up at a store,
Yeah.
a quick visit, to kind of help turn traffic along. Yes, so you'll be seeing those in advance of the parking lot closing too, so that the public can also start getting in the habit of knowing where those are. Yeah, good question, because I meant to put that and I forgot.
Yeah, because it's already kind of crazy down at my end.
Yeah, yep, the Pine Street is the first area, they've started milling that. They'll move pretty
Oh,
quickly.
they are,
Yeah.
they're going very fast.
Will that 15 minutes actually be enforced?
Good
We'll do our
question.
best. Yeah. Yeah, we have limited manpower and limited resources, so. we'll
Doesn't take
do our
long for
best.
people to figure out no one's giving a ticket out, they're there all day.
Yeah, that is
Right,
true.
right.
What grouchy people do we know that we could station out there?
That's all you.
What? No. Okay.
No, I appreciate you asking that. Any other questions on parking lot? So just a couple quick things then. So a couple times we've talked about, it's been requested as part of the catch-all email, something that the public has access to send an email that would then be distributed through the board. Vector Communications, who does the IT for the city and the DDA, is working on getting that built right now. As indicated in the packet, it would just be a board@lapeerdda.com email address. And then we're also having, while they're doing it, they're also making just an info@lapeerdda email address as well, which would just be like a general inquiry, general information email that we would all have access to be able to respond to updates. So make it a little more efficient, a little more accessible as well. I met with MSU Extension, actually Carlos was able to join me. A couple of years ago, we did the First Impression Tourism Program in Lapeer that brought in essentially secret shoppers to visit the downtown and provide feedback on the downtown experience. They have a 2.0 version of FIT. This is a streamlined version of the program that utilizes QR codes placed throughout the community. So it might be a QR code in a park, a QR code in front of a business, a QR code maybe in a planter, just various spots. So as the public is walking around, they can scan that, and then there'll be a series of questions related to the downtown area, so they can provide feedback. The idea, the way the program has worked, they're currently doing this in Marine City, is you have those QR codes up for about a year. But they also provide real-time feedback. You're able to check the results throughout the duration to see where people are going, to see what people are commenting on. It's one of those, just a very low-cost way to gauge public input and public impressions of the downtown. So we're building out some questions right now, but our hope is if this is something that the DDA wants to move forward with, and I think it's a good way to collect data, but would be to roll that out this spring and summer, and then again, have it up so we're covering all the seasons, and just collect some feedback with minimal cost. Really the cost is getting the QR code signs printed and produced. Any questions on that?
I think it's a great idea. I mean, you just needed consensus from us for us to like decide if we want to do this.
Yeah, we'll have it on the April agenda.
Oh, you'll put it on the April agenda, okay.
Yeah, I just want to let you know I'm talking with them and
Okay.
exploring it. The other program that has kind of taken root and is launching in the Thumb area is a program called Art Spark. This is a Thumb-wide art initiative to match locations with artists across the Thumb, to provide communities and organizations with potential funding, and then ultimately culminating in a Thumb-wide art festival in September of 2027. This is being led by the local community foundations and the St. Clair Economic Development Corporation. The local Lapeer County Community Foundation, the Ford County Community Foundation, and the Lapeer County Community Foundation are all looking at avenues to generate funding and create grants that can be utilized for creating public art. The idea is some of these could be DDA projects, some could be city projects, but it's also potentially opportunities for business owners and nonprofits as well to engage and get some public art created. And really create create, you know, almost like a destination for the Thumb as an art region of Michigan. So it's early on in the planning. We just had a meeting with the Community Foundation last week. Jill from the Center for the Arts was able to take part. We've been doing some early brainstorming, but also Emily City is on board, Almont is on board for Lapeer County. So it's, I think, a pretty exciting initiative in the program. That's all I have. Any questions?
Nope. Okay. So now we need to convene to Lapeer Main Street Inc. for meeting.
So we need a motion to do
Okay,
that.
can we have a
So
motion?
moved.
Okay. Tim and Catherine. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay.
So Lapeer Main Street Inc. is our facade loan program. It's our 501c6. And it is a line of, we have a line of credit through Choice One Bank. That is a $100,000 line of credit through the bank. It is up for renewal. So we need a motion, if we want to continue that program, continue to be able to do like our facade loans and improvements, we do need a motion to extend and renew that program in partnership with Choice One Bank. So I'd be looking for a motion on that.
How long was the term for this?
It was a
last-
3-year,
3 year, is it gonna be 3 years again?
yes.
Okay, I'll make the motion.
In the past, we talked about raising the line too. Is that something you need to address?
I talked with Ashley
I'll
about.
support the motion, so we can have this
Okay.
discussion.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I did talk to Ashley at Choice One Bank. That is something that they could look at. Her suggestion was to renew the program and then move forward with looking at increasing the line of credit.
Okay. So we have a motion, we have support. Do we have any other questions? Okay. All in favor of renewing this line of credit? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. And then account signers.
So we need 2 motions here. We need to update the signers on the Main Street Inc. account. Signers that are on there are updated, so we do need to make sure we have current board members on there. My recommendation would be Mindy is one of the signers as chair, also Tim is vice chair, and then Megan as treasurer would be the 3 signers on that account.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Okay. Thank you,
A
Buddy.
second.
Okay. All right, all in favor of?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Okay. So-
And then the other one there is we do need signature to move forward with the extension and renewal. So we'd be authorizing, I would presume Mindy is chair to sign the necessary paperwork with Choice One Bank to move forward with the renewal and the extension of the Main Street Inc.
Okay,
Motion.
thank you. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? All right, and that meeting is adjourned.
We need a motion to adjourn.
Oh,
I have a
wait.
question.
Yes, okay, go ahead. We have a
So,
question.
with regard to this parking lot situation, behind buyer's furniture, and I don't wanna get in trouble for this, but I'm going to. The Grondin School takes up significant amount of that parking lot, and I don't know when school's out, so I don't know if anyone from the board can approach them and ask them to park on side streets or something. If I roll back in from lunch, I can't get a parking spot. And I feel that could be a significant problem trying to balance downtown traffic through this mess across the street from me.
So,
Do we need
2
to-
things. First, let's
This is a
adjourn.
point
Main
of
Street.
order.
So
Sorry.
let's move to adjourn.
Main
Okay,
Street Inc., and then we.
Okay.
Sorry.
that's okay. So a motion to close, adjourn that meeting, Catherine? Okay, Betty, okay.
Understand the rules.
All in favor? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, all right,
We're back to
now.
DDA, yeah.
okay. New business. Betty, go ahead.
Well,
Yeah, we already did too. Okay.
I can reach out to Grindins and have a conversation with them. I would be open to suggestions, but I think like everybody.
I guess I don't know where all the vehicles are gonna go, because that parking lot is 100%
It's
full
crazy.
most days of the week.
I know some postal workers park in that lot too, that their lot is full.
So there's the lot, there's also a lot behind, kind of almost straight back from you, that's a municipal lot that gets underutilized.
Yes.
Right next to like the cottage house and Barry Schultz's law office.
I think a lot of people think that goes to the law office.
They
Yeah,
do.
they think it's.
Carter
yeah,
Taylor.
yes.
Do, so
Yeah.
that's highlighted on the maps.
Right.
As well. And then it's just gonna be, there are some lots that are further out, we're just gonna have to utilize those. It's gonna be, like I said, inconvenient, but
Well,
unfortunately.
and I guess I understand inconvenience, and I went through that lot being tore up whenever that was behind our store, and it was very difficult, so if there's a way to alleviate parking spots being used to catch overflow, I don't know, I don't think the city has the option to walk down and demand that we park in certain spots, but ma'am's strong suggestion would be great. I mean, I'll have everybody at Buyers Furniture park across the street, and I have no problem talking to Lola's and you know, the guys next door at the survey place. I'm sure they would be very agreeable to it also, but I mean, to everyone on the other side of the street, I guess that'd be my biggest concern, is I feel we have enough parking to handle this,
Yep.
as long as we have everyone that works on Nipissing Street being respectful and parking out so the clients can get to us, which keeps us in business.
Yeah, and a part of that with that lot is you do have the large student population with the
Yes.
Granum School there. There's also the county employees.
I understand that.
And Mike has reached out and been having those conversations with Moses also, as far as having the county employees park, making sure they park on some of the farther areas as well, to alleviate that and keep that parking more accessible for the general public. I will reach out to Groundings College too and talk with them. I don't know what options there are.
I don't know. I mean, in all fairness, I see an awful lot of, respectfully, students parking in those very first spots, and I see an awful lot of elderly clients having to park towards the end and make their way up to get their hair done. That has always been a sticking point for me personally.
Do you talk to Gruns enough to know, like, whether or not they know that the parking lot behind Taylor Butterfield is actually the municipal parking lot? Because it's really not that far to
No,
park
absolutely not,
there.
no.
I mean, there's quite a bit of space there. It's usually
I
pretty
mean,
empty.
that's a great point. If they could all just park there, that would
Yeah,
solve a
maybe
lot
they
of
just need to
problems.
be notified of that information.
Absolutely.
I need a haircut, so I will.
Right, perfect
This afternoon.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, anything else in new business? Old business? Okay, board member comments. Catherine, we'll start with you this time.
Well, I really haven't been patronizing businesses this month. I've been keeping at home, so I really don't, I mean, I really actually have not, can't even think of one right now. That's really sad. But I will say that it's getting nicer out, so to add to, or to take away from all the craziness of the parking, I'm gonna try to start walking to court instead of driving my car and parking in that parking lot. Parking lot of whatever the number is, so.
That's a great idea.
Yes, that'll be my contribution.
Yeah, and just a
Hopefully it doesn't
reminder,
rain.
like, we like to hear what businesses you've supported, but if you have other things to say, that's okay too. Okay, Chris?
Well, I patronize the Pix Theater and the gallery. The Lapeer Photography Club has their gallery hung up. It's very good. If you guys haven't seen it, it's one of the best, I think, in a while. And I'm renting the Pix Theater for the end of May. I'm putting on a free to the public concert because my band and other bands are going to be filming 3 music videos all concurrently. So if you guys want to see some loud and heavy music at the Pix Theater at the end of May.
What
And-
date?
What's that?
Do you have a date?
It's May 29th. It's gonna be 5 to 10. 6 to 10, I'd say, something like that. And then I go to all kinds of stores downtown. I go to Ryder's Pharmacy and get milk every week, and I go to Cookies and Cream all the time, and all the restaurants.
Okay. Jason?
I think the top two have been Pintai and Doghouse. And it's
Awesome. Buddy?
Doghouse. And like Tim, blend.
Yeah. Jeff?
The Pix as well, and the gallery, that's a great show. I love photography, that is an awesome show that's there. Doghouse, the Milano, pay the rest right now.
Awesome. Megan?
I've been to Wood Chips, Rogers, Choice One, Shane Wednesday, Kintai, Doghouse a couple times a week, probably Doghouse most frequently lately. And a couple more.
Mr. Hing?
Yeah, the usual, heard them today already, Kintai and Doghouse, but one that I haven't heard before, and I didn't go there personally, but I received some gifts from a market downtown called Cherries Market, and I didn't realize that they had some really interesting things there. I received some nice treats and some other food products, natural and organic, that kind of stuff, and just really healthy stuff. If you can call treats healthy, but but anyhow, I thought I'd bring that up, and I really enjoy the product, so something worth checking out.
Awesome. Tammy?
Kintai, I think everybody does. Salon Hero, I've kind of made my rounds around town, and I also suggest get out, walk around, it's gonna be nice out,
Yes.
check them all
Tim?
This is beginning to feel like a monthly Weight Watchers meeting. So I'm proud to say I've only been to Blend twice. So,
I see you at the rec center every day though.
yeah, that's true, that's true. So, Choice One, Lapeer Dental, Rogers, Blend, Dagwoods, Tammy's, that's all I can think of right now.
Jamie?
So, I feel like I've been to a lot. One of the things, so we're getting ready to go to the national conference. We fly out in the beginning of April. But as part of the conference this year, Michigan is putting together a gift basket to give away at the closing ceremonies. And so I was able to pick up some Petoskey stones from Essential Necessities. I picked up some sample bags of coffee from the Doghouse, and I've got a few other businesses that I'm gonna hit up for little things that we can use to contribute into that gift basket. And then piggybacking off of Cherry's Market, my mother is obsessed with their chicken pot pies, and I'm obsessed with their deviled eggs. So they're very good. And then, yeah, you know, same thing as the weather turns nice, it's a great opportunity. Just get downtown, check out the community, do the slow walk, and so you can actually look around and you kind of take in like some of the businesses that you might have forgotten about.
Yes.
There you go.
I have one to add.
Okay, go ahead.
I just ordered from, the bakery that's coming.
Oh, Grace and Butter?
Yeah, in the parking lot here. She's doing pre-orders for Easter.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if you're not a baker like me, I ordered a casada cake and something else. I got a cherry cake from Cherries for my anniversary last week. And I thought it was gonna be, you know, like a couple person. My husband picked it up and he's dramatic. And he's like, why'd you get this cake? And he shows up and like, I think it was bigger than my wedding cake.
Oh.
Yeah, like heavy duty. So yeah, you mentioned Cherries. Big shout out to Cherries. I literally, yeah,
Nice.
check out our cherry chip cake.
I can't wait till the bakery's open. Okay, so my comments, first of all, welcome Carlos. I know Jim already said it, but we're happy to have you. Outreach is going to be working a lot on not just raising money, not just raising funds, but also lining up new volunteers for all sorts of things, from big to small. So on the off chance anyone is watching and they want some place to volunteer, we will find a spot for you. And so I wanted to mention that. In terms of places I've gone, I do go to all the normal ones, but I wanted to specifically mention Detroit Burger Bar because I took one of the kids out for lunch over spring break, and I stopped by Rogers, and they have such a great selection of Melissa and Doug toys. So instead of waiting until December 20th this year to shop for Christmas, I have started early, and I got a very cute little set of things for the grandkids. So anyway, they've got lots of good stuff in there. All right, any correspondence? Okay, and Buddy?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, Buddy, moving to adjourn. There you go. We're done.
Why do they look to you for that?
I'm always looking to get out of here.
Yeah, I know, I'm being funny.
And when you're up there, you're always looking at
Oh, it's 9:11, I'm usually
Well,
just out of here by 9.
I know.
They'll be lined up.
Yeah, I know, my phone is.
Can I borrow your pen?
You
I'm
may.
sorry.
Very good.
No, you're fine.